But there's somebody listening to me right now saying, what's the big deal? Well, let me show you what the big deal is. Go to chapter 13 and look at verses 6 through 9. So you got to pay the price for being disobedient to God. The Bible says in 6, it says in the land, we said when he took Lot along, you remember he had his stuff, he had his little bit, and Lot had his little bit. There's somebody right now living with somebody they not married to, because you're saying, well, they got their little bit, and I got my little bit, and together we can help each other out. There's somebody right now, you're dealing with somebody that God said walk away from, but you haven't let them go because you think that they little bit and your little bit. Well, there was a woman with a little bit in the Bible. You remember that widow woman just had a little bit of oil and a little bit of wheat and a little bit of flour, but it said that God took that little bit and blessed her, and the barrel never ran dry. You gotta trust that you don't need anybody else's little bit. I'll take my little bit and trust God to do what he can with my little bit. I ain't got a whole lot of sense, but I got sense enough to love God. I'll take these little bit of sense and I'm going to trust God with all my heart, all my mind, and all my soul, and everything he told me to leave. Goodbye and see you later. Not that I don't like you, but I got to trust God more than man. And the Bible says, when they got to this land, got Abram's stuff and Lot's stuff, it said the land, it was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together. For their substance was great, so they could not live together. And then in verse 7, it went on, and it said, and there was strife. Him and his nephew looked like they had a good plan. Let's come on together. God didn't tell you to bring Lot. God told you to leave Lot right where he was. And God told you to go to your place of destiny. But you were not obedient because you didn't separate. And it says, and there was strife between their herdsmen, between Abram's herdsmen and Lot's herdsmen. And the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled there and then in the land. And in verse 8, it says, and Abram, he said to Lot, I don't want to fight with you. I don't want all this drama. Now we got all this drama in our lives. See, God didn't take you to that place of drama. You ended up in that place of drama because you drug Lot along. If you were left Lot where God said to leave Lot, it wouldn't have been so much drama. And so Abram says, I'm just trying to get to the promised land. And now men fighting, we looking at each other funny, walking by each other in church, and won't speak to each other because all the drama that's going on. In verse 9, it says, it's not the whole land before you. Abram's trying to get some peace in his life. If there's somebody listen to me right now that could just use a little bit of peace in your life, somebody that can just use a little less confusion. Abram said, it's not the whole land before you. And so he said, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to tell you to do what God told me to do. I chose not to listen to God. But right now I'm tired of all the drama. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to be able to come home and put my feet up and relax. I want to be able to go to work and enjoy myself. I'm sick and tired of hiding from phone calls. I'm sick and tired of all the mess going on. I want to be able to come to church without all the weight. I want to be able to say I was glad when they said to me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Abram told Lot, the whole land is before you. Separate yourself. I pray thee from me. Now Abram answered Lot, I need you to leave. It ain't you, but you weren't supposed to be with me. See, the person ain't bad. It's the disobedience that got you in the mess. Lot wasn't a bad person, I don't think. But God told Abram, I want you to get up and go and leave your family behind. And then he told him, me. I pray. He says, if you take the left, I'll go to the right. Whatever you choose, I'll go the other way. There's somebody. Now you're at that point. You draw a drug line alone. And now there's a whole bunch of confusion in your life. And God's giving you a second chance to make the separation. You trusted God. You were almost obedient, but you weren't willing to separate. But now you got a second chance. Even listening to me this morning, God says, I need you to separate. He said, you're not going to understand it, but you're going to have to trust me with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Now somebody said, but I love them. That's my brother. I love them. That's my friend. I love them. Well, let me tell you something. Love is still love. Even when it has to be given from a distance. You don't have to love everybody up close. You can love them from a distance. Ain't no need in having too messed up people. Get yourself together. Listen to the Lord. And when the Lord bless you, one day you will be able to turn around and be a blessing to somebody else. But you can't get blessed because you're not willing to separate. Go up to 14 through 18 in the same chapter 13. The Bible says in 14 through 18, and the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated. After he finally did what he was supposed to do, it said, lift up your eyes now. Your blessing was always in front of you, but you were too unwilling to let go of what I told you to let go. He said, now lift up your eyes and look from the place as far as you can see north, as far as you can see south, as far as you can see east, and as far as you can see west. For all the land which you see, I'll give it to you, and I'll see it forever. In 16, God says, and I'll make you seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then thy seed shall also be numbered. He told him once he was willing to trust, be fully obedient, and separate. He said, now arise, walk through the land. Somebody said, yeah, walk through the land, in the length of it, and the breadth of it, and I'll give it to you. I thank God. In verse 18, he went on to say, then Abram removed his tent and came and dwelt in the place of Mamre, which is in Hebron. They've been building altar there. I thank God that he trusted God enough to finally listen. I thank God that God showed grace even when he didn't do it right the first time. And brought Lot along that God came back again. Said if you're willing to trust, to obey, and to separate, open your eyes, look to the hills. If you can see it, you can see it. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Stop by to tell somebody today, success does not happen by mistake. One needs vision accompanied by determination. You got to be determined to say, whatever come or may, I'm going to do what the Lord said. I don't know about you, but I refuse to be a spiritual failure. I see the vision, trust, obey, separate. I see the vision, trust,